It is Monday, and that means Monday mailbag time, guys. Yes, and a lot of questions from the Discord server, including questions about the Black Order, Dark Dimension 3, T4s, and a lot more. And if you guys are ready to see what other questions I am talking about this week, guys, you know what to do. Yeah, let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday, and that means that it's time to go into the mailbag to answer your questions from the Discord server. Hope you guys had a great weekend, but it is time to take your mind off all of this social isolation. Get to some fun stuff about this game that hopefully we all enjoy. I know I am enjoying it despite some of the issues and the stress that it causes, but yes, it is question time, and the channel is growing, which means there are more and more questions, but it also means that I'm gonna have to start limiting some of them soon. So hopefully you guys could keep your questions short in the future so I could get to as many of them as possible. There's some long ones in this. I'm gonna try to summarize them. So let's get into it, guys. But before we get into it, it's time to make some money and give a big shout out to one of our sponsors of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. Hey, if you are into hero collector RPG games like I am, then Raid Shadow Legends might just be the game for you. It is set in an epic dark fantasy world, and for me the big appeal of this game comes from the level of customization that you have with each of your champions. And the way you get these champions is right here in the portal. Let's go open a few and see if we get some good ones right here. Boom, let's go summon them one and see if we get a good epic. Maybe we'll get a legendary. Let's see what happens here, guys. Boom, first one is Elhain. She is a high elf, and I really like her ultimate skill right here, guys. Her ultimate, Valley of Death, attacking all enemies 2 times, and as you level up this skill, you're getting more and more damage. All right, now let's open another one, guys. Who are we gonna get? Boom. It is going to be another rare. It is Kale. Now, this is a very good starting champion, and this is a very good skill right here. Acid Rain. It's an AoE attack, and you're going to fill the turn meter every time you get a kill. Very, very good stuff here. Let's pull another one. All right, and who are we going to get this time? Is it going to be a legendary? No, it looks like it is another rare champion, and I really like this guy's special right here. You have a 40% chance of stealing 2 random buffs. It goes up as you start to level up this skill. Plus, you're going to get an extra hit if any buff is stolen. So very good champion. I am happy with all 3 of those pulls, guys. And now the daily login calendar for new players has been increased from 90 to 180 days. Good stuff through those logins. And at the end of it, guys, you're going to get hooked up with a legendary champion, Sickle of Drake. I don't even have a legendary champion, so good stuff for you guys. Plus, the folks at Raids, if you use the link down below, are going to give you even more good stuff if you are a newer player. Yes, 100,000 silver, 2 clan boss keys, 10 mystery shards, and the awesome champion Executioner. And those rewards, they're going to be waiting for you in your inbox right here, guys. But use that link now because it only is going to be available for the next 30 days. So good luck, and I'll see you there. Yes, so check out Raid. Use that link in the description, guys. But let's get your questions. Woo! First question of the week, guys. Good morning, Valley. Hope all is well in Texas. You could put garlic on the list of supplies you can't find at the grocery store 3 times. Still can't find any. I think people maybe are trying to prepare for a zombie invasion or vampire invasion or something. I don't know. People are hoarding all kind of stuff. But yes, unlock Ghost Rider. So congratulations on that. Excuse me, unlock Red Skull. The question is about Ghost Rider, though. Those $1.99 special offers came in last night. Even as a so-called free-to-play player, like this offer, I can't refuse. What are your thoughts? I think these are great. I think if you don't have these characters at 7 stars, these are very good offers. I always look at offers at the time it's going to save me for the cost. So $4 for 100 shards, because you could buy these offers 2 times, especially for an unfarmable character like Ghost Rider. Awesome stuff. And if you don't have these characters at 7 stars, it might be good to break some free-to-play's characteristics if you look at the time it's going to save you. You know, 100 shards, how much did that take? Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending where they are farmable. So yeah, it's definitely can be worth it depending on your farming of these characters. So yeah, I like that Ghost Rider offer. If there's any other unfarmable characters that come through, I'm gonna snap it up, no problem. I usually don't spend money on this game except for new character offers, but this is one that I think is a very good value. Next question. Greetings from Singapore. Greetings from Texas, brother. All right, hope you and your family are staying safe. In your latest video with Casino, you are able to view the empowered Thanos kit in game. How does you do that? Does it work for Dark Phoenix as well? Yes, let me show you that. And then another thing about these blitz save squads, because I know some people have asked me questions, but for that, let's go into the game. All right, so here we are in game, guys. And to find the empowered Thanos, what you do is go here to his kit, and let's take a look at that. You got to go to his passive, and then you see right up here, empowered. That will show you the other version of his kit. And it works like that for Dark Phoenix as well, also for characters that have summons. So Dark Phoenix is in her passive, but if we go to Ultron right here, because he summons with his special, his bots, they're going to be in his special. You look at his summons, you can see all the kits for there. So all these summoning characters like Dark Phoenix and this new version of Thanos, you can see their kits there. And then as far as the save squads, because I know a lot of people can find that not everybody is able to, you would go here, enable low graphics mode portrait, open multiple orbs at once. So that is how you do these orbs, and then cycle through save squads and blitz. So that's how you enable that. You go to your advanced options in your game menu, guys. All right, next question. What is up, brother? Love your videos, especially the Wednesday news videos with Casino. Had a quick question about the levels. What are the benefits of leveling up a character past 70? Is it worth it? How much gold does it cost? It does cost a lot of gold, but the benefits, there's going to be 3 benefits. The first one is at level 71. You're going to see a big jump in focus and resistance at that point. Same thing at level 74. You're going to see another bigger jump at focus and resistance. And at level 75 is when you can start to equip gear tier 14. So that is, or not start to, but that's when you could fully complete that gear tier 14. So those are the 3 main benefits that you can get from going past level 70. So depends where you are in the game, if it's worth it for you, but it does cost a lot of gold, brother. Next questions. Greeting from Israel. Greetings from Texas, brother. I've been a fan of your YouTube channel. Your daughters are adorable. Wish I had their luck on orb openings. I wish I had their luck as well. They're very, very lucky, and hope you are doing well, my friend. Mid to late game player, wanted to ask you for something. You have the big meta characters at gear tier at level 75. You're 13. Ultron, Phoenix, Captain Marvel. Most of my squad are 65 gear tier 11. Should I be taking more characters to level 75 or shift taking those from 65 to 70? I really hope you answer my question. Cheers and keep up the great work. So again, taking them past level 70, yeah, you're gonna get some benefits as far as focus and resistance, and then able to fully complete that gear tier 14. I like taking most of my very high usage characters to level 70 because I could start to finish those T4s on certain characters. So that's where you're going to see the main benefits. So again, it's going to depend on usage. It looks like you've already done a lot of the main characters. So if there's other characters that you notice yourself using a lot, I would recommend taking them up as well. And if if you're eventually going to take them up to gear tier 14 or want to take them to gear tier 14 soon, that's when it might benefit you to get it to 75. But you're not going to see some huge increase in stats just by going above that, except for the 71 and then 74 that we talked about. Next question. What is up, brother? I hope you and your family are staying safe and still smashing it. Can you explain to me how a blinded character like Spider-Man can still dodge 3 consecutive attacks? I think it's because of his Peter Tingle, brother. Am I the only one frustrated by this mechanic or irritated by this mechanic? Dodge is annoying enough, but dodge when blinded, I know. I mean, there's certain things in this game that thematically don't make a lot of sense, but for the gameplay perspective, I think it does. And I think that's just one little oversight that doesn't go thematically with it, but I think that's what they intended from a gameplay perspective. So sorry you're annoyed by it, but I haven't noticed it too much. There's other things that annoy me in this game as well, but yeah, I just attribute it to benefiting the gameplay and keeping the fun factor. But dodges are very, very annoying. Next question. Holla from Austin, Texas. Holla from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, brother. Love your weekly mailbags. I'm trying to put together a shield team. Don't know how to place them. Have Coulson, Medic, Security, and Operative. Any ideas? So Security goes at one end or the other, and I would put Trooper next to Security. Other than that, I don't think the other 3 matters. And normally I'll have Fury on the other end of Security, but you don't have Fury. So when you eventually get him, I would place him on one end, and then Trooper, if you're using Trooper, is gonna go next to Security. All right, next question. Man, love your content, bro. Keep it up. I crossed a 240 logged in today. Loving the games. Greetings from Croatia. Well, greetings from Texas, brother. What do you think about Fox Next adding a replay option for war mechanics? It's not something that I would personally use, but I know a lot of the community has been asking for that, so I wouldn't mind if they put that in. as long as it's not taking away from some other features that I personally want in the game. But yeah, I don't think it could hurt. You know, it would be nice to see what is happening on war defense once in a while, because right now, you know, putting T4s into Coulson, putting T4s into some of your other war defense teams, like maybe the Red Skull team, just doesn't seem very satisfying right now. So yeah, anyway, but that's my thoughts on that. I wouldn't mind if they added something like that. Next question, smashing it from MD. Not really a question, but an idea for Avengers rework. Make them like hero brawlers where Captain America is the leader and only buffed when he is present, and everyone else from the last scene of Avengers Endgame gets the tag. I think I would like that. I mean, I've been wanting Captain America to be back into that meta conversation for a while now. So something like this that would make the Avengers relevant would be good. I've been hearing rumors of maybe Avengers getting a rework when Black Widow gets her rework. Now that movie got delayed, I don't know if that's going to happen. And then a lot of people were mentioning Avenger rework as a counter to this Black Order rework. So haven't heard anything as far as rumors according to that, but maybe it is something that Fox Next will do, and I wouldn't mind, because thematically it would make sense for the Avengers to beat the Black Order eventually. Next question, staying safe from New Jersey, staying safe in Texas, and I hope all you guys are staying safe as well. Thanks for answering my questions a few weeks ago. Slight follow-up to one question. One of my strongest tunes is 7 Gold Star, 6 Red Star Captain America. What would you recommend good teams for him, specifically in war? And should I use him in arena? Personally, I don't think he's very viable in arena in today's meta. Now, it will depend on your arena shard. If you're in a newer shard or in a shard that doesn't have a lot of these meta characters, he may be viable. As far as arena defense, though, I think he works very well with that Captain Marvel team. He has the Avengers tag that he could hand out, and she's a very, very tough character. So I think that combo, maybe with a Black Widow, maybe with a Hulk in there, could add some viability and maybe get you some defensive wins on war, brother. Next question. This is a long one, so let's try to cover this whole thing. Greetings from Vegas, brother. Long-time listener, first time reaching out on Discord. Have a question. Working on my Ultimate 7 team. Plan on using Ultron, Scientist Supreme, Shuri, and Invisible Women. Conflicted on the 5th character. Would you say Hela, Minerva, Falcon, or Vision would suit the best team above? So I used Falcon in that 5th spot for a long time until Black Bolt and Yo-Yo came around, and that team worked very well. Wasn't able to one-shot every node, but I was able to do all of these nodes without having to use any refreshes. And I think depending what percent of the raids that your alliance is going for, that is probably the more important thing. So I like Falcon, but Hela's a good choice. Minerva's a good choice. Vision I still will use on certain nodes. So all of them work very well. As far as T4s though, Invisible Woman, I think that is a good one to use. I as far as Ultimate 7, her special and her ultimate, as far as Ultimate 7, Shuri's ultimate is a good one for her healing. And I know some people have put that T4 into Falcon's ultimate. I haven't done that personally, but that does increase the damage. And maybe you could one-shot some of these nodes that I wasn't able to if you have that T4 in Falcon's ultimate. Next question. What up, man? Will mini uniques be introduced to orange raid orbs? I'm hoarding them, waiting for them and their inclusion. I was hoarding them for a while, waiting for their inclusion as well, but it never came and I needed those orange mats. So I started opening them, but I always thought that they would be included at some point, and maybe they still will. I just ran out of patience, but if you got the patience for that, then good stuff, brother. But yeah, I just opened mine. I have no idea if they're ever going to be added or not, though, guys. Next question. What do you think are the best T4s for the new Power Armor team? Also, what T4s would you recommend on AIM? All right, so as far as the new Power Armor team, the only T4 that I really have right now in that Power Armor team, and of course it's not the new one because Ironheart's not out yet, is the passive on War Machine. So I think that's a very good one. If I'm really fully thinking about building that team, the Ironheart ultimate and the Ironheart passive are very good. It's gonna have defense up for 2 turns with her ultimate. Her passive is gonna give the whole team a bunch of stats. And then the previously mentioned Falcon ultimate might be one that you want to do as well for that extra damage. And then as far as the AIM, the T4s for AIM, the first one I did, and this was because I have a 7-star AIM monstrosity. I did his special first because that's going to give him offense up before he does his attack and not afterwards. I think that's very, very important. Graviton's passive is one that I also did, And I did Scientist Supreme Special more for Ultimate 7, not really benefiting too much in that aim team. But I think the next one I would do if I were to put one on that aim team is going to be the Assaulter passive, because that one is really, really beneficial as far as speed. Next question. Hey, brother, from Quarantine Russia. Hopefully you and your family are doing good these days. Been watching you file for a while. It is my first question. Really bothering me looking at Scarlet Witch not being a mutant. Come on, she's Magneto's daughter. What do you think about an idea so that Fox next gives some characters like Wanda 2 tags, in this case mutant or mystic? I really like that idea, and I was wanting double tags for certain characters like Yondu way back in the day, that hero villains tag. But there are some problems, and you mentioned that in this post. There might be multiple problems. First, the Stark Tech advancement. Yeah, so that is where I think that just it's all the bugs that we got changing, which in my mind are simple things. Doing something like this would probably break a lot of things, just knowing how things break in this game. So that's the first thing. And then the gear. You mentioned the gear as well. Mixed gear. I don't think mixed gear would be too much of a problem, but them figure out how to use Stark Tech. I think that would be a problem. So I think that's the main thing that's holding back from multiple tags, but I would like to see that. It makes sense thematically for certain characters to have multiple tags. Next question. Greetings from the tiny island of Palau. Early mid-game player who is growing my Asgardians. I need Hella Shards. Was investing in Sinister 6 to do the first 3 nodes of the new villain campaign, but I watched your mailbag. You advise using AIM instead. Don't have Graviton yet. Can AIM beat those villain nodes without Graviton, or should I start powering up Hydra instead? Stay safe, brother. So Hydra is going to be very RNG dependent when not used in war defense. If Red Skull survives, you'll probably beat pretty much any node, as long as they have a decent amount of power. If he dies very early on, you're going to have trouble with certain nodes. So Hydra is very RNG dependent. Sinister 6, you're going to have some value with that team because they can unlock the legendary Shuri and the Invisible Woman. So you got some value with both of those there. But as far as building them up, I don't see a lot of value outside of that, which is why I recommend AIM, because you're going to be able to use them. They have a little more versatility, I think. So that's why I recommend AIM. But if you're close with your Sinister 6, if you're close with your Hydra, use those teams. I'm not sure what power levels the Sinister 6 or Hydra would need to be to beat those nodes. I know that AIM, the most recent that I've heard, that I've seen screenshots of, is about 180k for your AIM team. So yeah, keep that in mind. So use whatever you have the closest, but I think AIM is going to benefit you most in the long run. Valley, wondering what I should put my crossbones, since I put 3 T4s on him before I started watching and learning about the value of orange ability enhancements. Oh, I'm so sorry, brother. Hopefully he gets a rework and you will see your value realized in those T4s. But I think the only team that makes sense right now is either a villain team or putting him on that Hydra team, replacing one of the minions. And I think that's where you're going to see the most value. Now that Sniper can give that offense up to all Hydra characters and not just Hydra minions, you want to keep Hydra Sniper on that team. You want to keep Red Skull on the team and replacing one of the others. You know, probably your weakest, and hopefully that team still works. But yeah, hopefully he will get a rework. I think he has a movie coming out, maybe with the Winter Soldier or something. So hopefully he'll get a rework at that time, and then you will see your value in those. But right now he's just so far behind the meta. So yeah, try him on a villains team, maybe with Kingpin, or try him on the Hydra team. That's who I recommend, brother. Next question is, greeting from Puerto Rico. Brother, I've been following your content since I started the game. Currently follow your last farming guide. 2 questions. You recommend getting the characters to 5 stars, but you do not mention a geared level. What level should teams be when you move them to 5 stars? A new farmable characters guide coming soon. I have been working on that. The last one took me a long time to think about the order that I think you should progress, and I went through a few different versions of it and finally realized the one that I put out was the one that I'm most comfortable with. But as far as the gear level, I think I mentioned in the first video, I don't think I mentioned this in the second one though, it's gonna be based a lot on where you are in arena and the raids. If you're doing well enough for where you're at in the raids and well enough in arena to satisfy you, then you're good as far as gear, man. Those I think are the important modes as far as realizing what gear you need to be for your character. So it's going to be based on that. So no real hard standard, but I've found that around gear 9 or 10 is where I normally stop with characters that I aren't heavily investing in. So that would probably be a good baseline. So try that out, brother. Hopefully that helps. Next question, Valley, I'm a new player wondering what is a good time to stop leveling defenders? I have them all at tier 8, still farming to unlock Groot and Rocket. I have Sinister 6 unlocked except for Mysterio. Thanks for the great vid. So thank you for watching the vids, brother. So as far as defenders, I think as soon as you are able to do pretty decent in the raids and arena, like the previous question, you can stop working on them and then start working on your Guardians and the Sinister 6. Sinister 6, of course, is going to get you those 2 unlocks. So the main point of the farming guide that I put out was to get these legendary characters as quick as possible. Sinister 6 is going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So they're a very, very valuable team as far as unlocking legendaries. I think Guardians is going to be a more valuable team for you in the raids, in arena, at the early part of the game. So I think they are a little better. So I would start farming your other teams right now if you're satisfied with your arena and raids with the defenders. And then, yeah, just start shifting over to these teams as quick as possible. Groot is a little harder to unlock. Rockets in the raid source is a little harder to unlock. So you might not be able to get them right away, which is why I still don't recommend Guardians as your first team, even though they're better than defenders. But yeah, just keep working on those. And yeah, it's going to be dependent on your arena and raid performance. Next questions. Greetings from the Mitten State. What state is that? I'm not familiar with that. I got 2 questions for you. First, I have a 5 red star Star-Lord and a 5 red star Magneto. Would you bring either of them to 6 red stars? Probably not. Those aren't characters that I think are heavily involved in the arena meta right now. I do see Magneto sometimes on defense, but those are pretty easy teams nowadays with the characters that we have in the game. And Star-Lord, his value is going down. He was one of the most valuable characters about a year ago, and ever since this power creep started happening, newer characters getting released, value's going down. So I wouldn't invest my gold tokens in either of those, getting them to 6 red stars. But I would be very happy if I pulled a red star from one of the 6 red star from older those. Second question: used to play fly half through high school. What position did you play? I played primarily lock, aka second row, but there was a lot of games that I played flanker, a lot of games that I played 8-man, and then very rarely I play some other positions. Just rugby is not super popular in the US, so sometimes you just got to fill in to where you're needed. But my primary position was the second row. Next question. High five, brother. Just unlocked Ultimus. Was wondering where to use him. I was thinking of tossing him my war defense with my Kree team. If I did, what's the ideal Kree makeup with him? Last questions. Would you invest T14's who would you invest in T14 first? Loki or Thor? Same star levels. I probably would take the T13 Loki because I think he's gonna get a little more value in Dark Dimension 3 than Thor does. I like Thor a lot better, but yeah, I gotta go with who's better in the game, and I think it's Loki right now because of his special, because of his ultimate, and some of the other things he does. As far as the Ultimus, I'm using him on a specific team right now with Korath, Minerva, Cyborg, and Captain Marvel. Not sure if it's the best team out there for him, but there's another. The next question actually has a pretty good team as a counter to the Hydra war defense team. So, has anyone talked about a possible Kree counter to Red Skull? Don't know if it has any sustain to keep alive Ronin, Ultimus, Minerva, Noble, and Yondu seems to have enough clearing to clear the positive effects to deal with the death proofs. So that is a very interesting team. I have not tried that personally, but if anybody has some familiarity with that team, then let me know in the comments. So that is one area that you might be able to use Ultimus, brother. It sounds good on paper, but I would like to try it before I recommend it. But I like how it sounds. Next question. Can you recommend 2 other Ultimate 6 raid teams? I normally run BKT on auto, but I'm getting tired of their animations. Would like to diversify. So if you're running on an auto, why does the animations matter? But anyway, I think BKT for Ultimate 6 is still the best team. Strong Sustain and AoE are my thoughts. As Guardians, I think they're very, very good. And I think you are going to be able to fully auto with that team. Supernatural, I think they're also good, but I think you got to play with that team. I don't think you could auto with that team because a lot of their moves are going to be, you need to put it on the right characters and do it in the right order, not necessarily the auto order. One team that stands out, a newer team, you might not have a lot of symbiote Spider-Man, But that Spider-Verse team, I used them in the Greek raids last night, and they worked very well, surprisingly, at their low power level. So I guess I would go Asgardians and Spider-Verse, but there's a lot of good teams. Supernatural's one of them. You could go to that old school Ultimate Raid team, go with Wakandans, but yeah, BKT is still my favorite, brother. And if I'm running on auto, I don't care about the animations. Next question is, greetings from England. Well, greetings from Texas, brother. When the Red Star rework power curves comes, how much do you think it will inflate collection power? I have no idea. It's going to be individualized based on your current red stars. I think most people will see maybe a 10 to 30% increase in their collection power. Not sure. We'll see what happens. Remember that the power skill that they provided, though, was was not finalized. It was something that they're working out and trying to test at this time. So that may be or may not be what is coming to the game. Second, do you think the sliding power scale of raids was delayed to be implemented at the same time? I think they were. I think that was kind of their plans. A lot of their plans that they mentioned were going to be happening and finalized around mid-April, late April. But because of this COVID-19, all this stuff going on, I think a lot of stuff got delayed. So I have no idea what the current plans are right now and how much they are on track with everything. Next question is Aloha from Arizona. Aloha from Texas, brother. Thanks for your awesome videos. I want a full-fledged Valley maniac. Thank you, brother. All right, in the past, have you heard? I heard you referred to Crystal as a hard counter to Phoenix. Do you still feel that way? And if so, why? I think she is a counter. I don't know if she's a hard counter. She has a good ultimate that does have a counter to Dark Phoenix, and that is her stunning with her ultimate on summon minions, and Dark Phoenix counts as a summon. So the timing of it looks correct as well. And if that happens, you could stun Dark Phoenix, avoid her ultimate of her own, and then you could attack them with the rest of your Inhumans or whatever team you're running on. Other than her ultimate, she doesn't really have a lot of countermeasures to Phoenix. So yeah, it's just that one move and that ability to stun summon characters. So that is kind of I would say that's a soft counter at this point. I don't know if it's a hard counter, but it does counter Phoenix if you are using it in the right turn order. Next question. Hey, yo, from Northern Michigan. Hey, yo, from Texas. With all the screw-ups and the second strike milestones, will we get some sort of compensation? Yes, they already said that certain numbers of those milestones were bugged. As soon as you claimed one, then all of them were checked out. So we're supposed to be getting them once the second strike milestones are done. And I guess there was some reasons for that. They couldn't implement those changes while the event was going on. I guess just to make it neat. So everybody would get it at once instead of doing it one by one. So when the second strike milestones are finished, I am expecting all those grayed out numbers in my inbox. I will be very upset if I don't get those. It already held me back from Dark Dimension 3 a couple days early. So it is whatever it is. I'm expecting them in our inbox once the event ends though, brother. Next question. Wonder if you or any other content creators had any info about Man-Thing, Blade, Morbius, Moon Knight, Magic, or Scream coming to the game. I can't speak for any other content creators, but I know I have not heard any rumors, official or unofficial. So I know a lot of people are pushing for a lot of these characters, but I haven't heard anything about them coming to the game. Maybe sometime though. Hey brother, great content. I am here again with another question. Hope you could answer this one for me. Outside of Inhumans, which other teams do you think have the highest success rate with beating Red Skull Hydra teams on defense? Some say Aimtron, but we know that team is reserved for Asgardians. Would appreciate if you can answer this one for me. Thanks and stay safe. So Aimtron is a very good counter against Asgardians. I think they also work against Red Skull as well. I've had success punching down with BKT, so I don't know if that's an official counter if I have to punch down with it. Spider-Verse, I've seen people counter my Hydra team with Spider-Verse punching down. I've also seen Fantastic Four punch down against them. So not very many teams I could think of that could punch up. Maybe X-Men, the Cyclops version of X-Men, if you stagger their AoE attacks to kind of take out a few different minions at once. But yeah, I mean, Hydra is very tough right now. It looks like the new version of the Power Armor team is going to be a direct counter to that Hydra team, though, because I'm pretty sure that once Red Skull gets defense down, he will take damage. It's very hard to put it on him, but Ironheart's, I think it's her ultimate, can do defense down for 2 turns. So, and it has a lot of extra focus. So if that does stick on Red Skull, Power Armor is going to be a very, very easy counter to that Hydra team, brother. Next question, yo Valley, pulled my first 7 red star cable. Don't really have a place for him at the moment. Any suggestions? Stay safe, brother. Well, I hope you are staying safe as well. I don't really have him on a team. He's kind of on a trash team right now, or kind of a unusable blitz team right now, but I know a lot of people are using him as the 5th marauder. I haven't used them directly there, so I can't speak to that myself, but I know a lot of people are using that with great success, so I would recommend trying that one out. And next question, hey Valley, greetings from the UK, brother. Love the content and watch all of your videos. Well, thank you, brother. Pull the 6 red star Ronin. Is he worth building up, and which Kree minions would be best to pair with him? So I think he is worth building up. He has a very good kit. He's not, the Kree aren't a very great team, but they're a good team. Cyborg seems to go very well with Ultimus. I'm gonna probably use him on an Ultimus team, which means I would use the remaining 4 with Ronin, which is Noble, Royal Guard, Oracle, and Reaper. Unless you're running a team with Ultimus and Ronin on the same team, then use the team that we mentioned earlier in that earlier question there. What's up, ValleyFlyin from Austin, Texas? What is up, man? All right, watch your orb opening for Proxima. Was thinking, I'm not the only one who doesn't know what crane or seed theory is. Was hoping you could elaborate on how these theories work for those who aren't familiar. So first off, I don't think that either of these are accurate, but I always do these just to add a little more fun and maybe make it a little more exciting. But seed theory is basically when you open the game, you have a certain seed where there's a lot of good drop rates, there's some bad drop rates, and that kind of sticks. So if you're noticing a lot of bad drop rates, you close the game, let it wait for a while, and let a new seed develop that hopefully you will have a good drop rate. You come back in, and then a lot of your pulls will be very good. So that is the seed theory. As far as crane theory, I think this one also doesn't really hold a lot of water, but I still do it just for fun. But basically, you see the crane go all the way to one side, and then it comes back a little bit and then goes to all the way to that side again. Well, when it goes all the way to that side again, you open it right at that exact moment, and that's when you're supposed to have a good pull. Again, I don't think either of these are accurate, but I always do them just for fun. You know, maybe it is true, maybe it's not, but I do these a lot just because it adds to the fun. This is a game for fun, so that's why I do them. Hey, ValleyFlyin, I have a question that's been bothering me for a long time. In war, clearing out one side of the room opens up the room below, but clearing up both sides opens up a room on the adjacent room to the left or the right. Is it random which side it opens, or is it determined based on something else? So as far as I know, and if this is not right, correct me in the comments, guys, but as far as I know, opening up one side of the room will open up the top and the bottom of that room, and then opening up both sides of that room will open up the top, bottom, left, and right. Now, the edges are hard, so if you open up one on the edge, that's not going to open the other side. So in the middle, you're going to see that benefit of opening up both sides, but if you're on one of the edges, you're just going to open one in the middle, and I think that's what you may be seeing. But guys, if you guys are seeing something different, let me know in the comments below. Next question, hey brother, hope all is well. So out of 3 Inhumans that are not farmable, which one would you choose you want to become farmable, and which way would you want that character to become farmable? I would like Yo-Yo myself, so I would like Yo-Yo as well, and I would want her to be in a very easy store, like the Arena store or Blitz store. Either one, something that is not RNG dependent for that character actually show up, like the Raid store or the War store, but that's where I'd want. And I think the Arena and a Blitz store is a lot quicker than a campaign node or something, so that's where I would want her. What is up, ValleyFlyin? Recently discovered your videos and I'm loving them, watching them after work and while working out. Oh, nice. Pumping up, baby. I've got the double whammy of being a healthcare worker in the military. Well, double thank you to you, brother. All right, so this one is not really a question, but I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was a pretty good idea. Your video with Casino, a lot of changes coming to Blitz eventually. One idea I thought about was allowing players to select lower tier levels they've already cleared with a strategy that's been to have players lose on purpose, which is very time consuming. It would allow it to be more efficient to allow players to scale down. One selection, you can't scale up, have to play back up. They've added the retire lose option in a previous update, which is acknowledging this strategy. This just takes it a lot further. I like this idea, and I hope the folks at Fox Next are listening to this. And they've announced that Blitz changes are coming, and I would be very much in favor of this idea. I think, yeah, for certain characters, it's very good to drop down tiers. I would be happy if they added this, reducing some low quality time in the game. Next question. Hope you and your family are doing well. Same to you, brother. Longtime viewer, first time poster from Yorkshire, which is supposedly the Texas of England. I recently watched the video OMG featured you, and you mentioned previously potentially taking Loki to Dark Dimension 3 because of attacks that makes the enemies and their attack, they all have super high damage. My question on this is, how viable do you think of making tunes with this type of attack, like Mystique and Loki, for example, would be? Both their attacks are turn 1. Dark Dimension 3 would essentially beat itself, right? Yes, but I think after that opening attack, they're just gonna die. So if you plan on doing one attack of these guys per day, or as backup characters to your main squad that could go through multiple waves, then very, very good. But just keep in mind, you're probably going to use one attack of theirs per day using that strategy if you focus just on that team. The other thing that Loki brings is that stealth, and he could stealth these characters, so he adds some protection, not just that opening move. Mystique puts herself into stealth, but not the whole team, so a little different with Mystique. Next question, would it make sense to MSF to have a wish list mechanic? For example, can you say 5 to 10 characters that have higher drop rates in premium, basic, and ultimate orbs? Just thought would allow better focus farming. Yeah, it would make sense for players, but not for Foxnex. Remember, their business model is a scarcity model, so if you really want something, you're either going to spend or you're just going to keep grinding on it. So if you could get what you want, that would kind of reduce their business model. So it would make sense for the players. I would like it, but I don't see them doing this just because of their economics. Next question. Hey Valley, can you answer me this question? Since we are getting 4 to 5 Black Order members, Black Dwarf, Corvus Glaive, Ebony Maw, Proximate Midnight, will we be getting Supergiant? I was mad she wasn't in the movies, but she's deep in the comics. If you don't know, you can ask Cerebro. So exactly what she said. She wasn't in the movie for some reason, which is why I don't really see her coming to the game. Hopefully I'm wrong on that. It would be cool to have a 5 Black Order team with Thanos, and then you have to pick which one to leave out. But yeah, I would be happy with it. They would have to arrange all the stones differently if they did that. But yeah, I don't see it coming to the game, unfortunately, brother. ValleyFlyin, having more or less seen the Black Order kits, it seems like their main deficiency as a raid is that they lack sustained healing. They remind me more of the X-Men. Probably good for a couple nodes, but lacking the sustain of Tech Wing. I agree. They lack the sustain for multiple nodes, multiple waves, but they're designed to be an arena team. Their billing was one of the better arena teams in defining the arena meta. So I wouldn't expect them to be a good raid team. Now, I do like Thanos' special. That is an awesome move. You could do that over and over for the raids, but you would need the rest of the Black Orders in order to get into that empowered state. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be a huge move for the raids, but they should be a good arena team. So we'll see what happens when their full kits are officially announced. I know we've seen a data mine of Cull Obsidian, and we've seen some blurb in a magazine article, online magazine article, I think comicbook.com, about Ebony Maw's kit. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it when those 2 latest ones are officially announced. Hi from Canada, ValleyFlyin. I got 7 tunes, Gear 13 now, completed 3 last night. Ultron, Phoenix, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Scientist Supreme, Mr. Sinister, Sif, and Hela. Man, you got a lot. Congratulations on those. With 7 tunes ready, how would you go for attacks without needing many cores? Group 5, then send in 2, or maybe just revive Phoenix and with the remaining 2. So what I would do, I mean, if this is assuming you're going to spend cores, put Phoenix on one team and go hard with that team, and then put Phoenix on a second team. And if you want to use your cores, if you are spending cores, that would be the most efficient way to do it. Use her on 2 teams per day. That would be, I think, 150 core refresh, and that would get you through Dark Dimension a little quicker. Of course, if you're like me and not wanting to spend cores on that mode, then yeah, just put in your top 5 and then put in your next 2 to try to eat up some cooldowns from the enemies. And hopefully the cooldowns are good in your favor. Next question. Since the new Falcon is unstable or unusable since his special causes the game to crash, several hundred players have contacted support only to receive generic responses. Do you think Foxnex should give out some sort of high value compensation, especially since the bug severely handicaps most players' Ultimate 7 teams? I don't know about high value compensation, because it's hard to determine how much each player was individually affected. I know there's some players that were affected a lot, whereas some players weren't really affected. So I don't know if the compensation should be too high, but normally I'm playing on low graphics mode, and as soon as I turned that thing off, the special started working fine. So hopefully that will help you. If you are playing on normal graphics mode, maybe try going to low graphics to see if that helps. But I've heard switching that around does help with that special. So try that out and hope that helps you, brother, and anybody else that's having issues with Falcon. Next questions. Greeting from the Great White North. Thanks to the anniversary milestones, I'm in Dark Dimension 3 looking for a 5th global still. I have Phoenix, Fury, Sinister, Ultron. I also have Hela and Invisible Woman at gear 14 looking for my 5th global. I have a giant Hawkeye, 6 Red Star, 12 gear 12, 63k. Being skilled and having some full pieces ready for him, he would be cheap to gear. He has unavoidable attacks, and blind might be useful. So yeah, when you're looking at skill characters, there's not a lot of really good ones that have that global tag. So Hawkeye would be a good choice based on your Red Star level and his beefiness already. So in your situation, I probably would recommend Hawkeye just because he's so beefy already. But yeah, there's not a lot of good skill characters, so it won't really go to waste by using him. Next question. How do you feel about the City Blitz they're doing to help Dark Dimension 3 voted between Iron Fist and Miss Marvel? Most endgame players have them at 7 stars for a very long time now. So I agree. They're not very good characters. They're not very good for Dark Dimension 3. But I like these blitzes that I could take off. I could hit the milestones and not really have to push hard like I did for this Red Skull Blitz. Oh my goodness. It takes a lot of time. So I enjoy these days off. Yes, they're not going to help in Dark Dimension 3. So not exactly as build, but yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with having a off blitz. Next question. Greeting from Texas. Also greetings from Texas. Hope you and your family are staying safe. I'm a free-to-play player who is entering mid-game. Big fan of cosmic characters, and after the announcement of Black Order, I've started to grind to try to unlock Black Bolt. Long story short, he pulled a 7 Red Star Black Bolt. Should I halt all progress and focus on Asgardians? My defenders for Hero K are only at 100k, or for Hero 7 are only at 100k. I've stopped to progress on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't have any aim characters leveled up for the Villains campaign. What would you do in my situation? I would probably still try to get those Asgardians. Now, I don't know if it's going to be in time for this next upcoming Black Bolt event. We got about 3 weeks till that event starts. And since you don't even have those nodes unlocked yet, I'm not sure where the rest of your Asgardians are. You might miss the second iteration, but I would definitely start to push, get your Guardians or get your Defenders so you could beat those hero nodes or the city nodes, and then go in with build up your aim so you could beat that Villains node, and then you can start to build up your Asgardians for the 3rd iteration of that Black Bolt event. So that's what I would do. Very valuable character, and you got a very good pull on one of the best characters in the game. So yeah, I would definitely try to build him if I were you, brother. Next questions. 2 questions actually. Is the Fantastic Four great outside of wars? My way to measure greatness is to see how much a team can punch up in 8.3 with a non-synergized teams. And if that is your definition, then I would say yes, they're a very great team. I punch up all the time in 8.3 and Blitz with Fantastic Four, and that is not a hybrid. That is with Namor even, which is not very good outside of war. But they punch up all the time against non-synergized teams. Now, against synergized teams, they got some problems. A lot of teams are going to have problems against synergized teams in 8.3, but Fantastic Four, fully auto on those non-synergized teams. Second question, I'm at a point when I could either run, either build AIM or Asgardians. Which one should I pick? Just off the top of my head, Asgardians, because they unlock Black Bolt. No, Sif is not and quite far from 5 stars, so I can't get Black Bolt anyway. You might not be able to get him on the 2nd iteration, but I would definitely shoot to push for that Asgardian team. Not only are they one of the top 3 teams in the game, in my opinion, but you know, they will unlock that Black Bolt like we talked about. On the other hand, AIM has all members being at 5-star levels, so they could go quite far. So maybe the answer is to start to gear up your AIM team, start to build up your AIM team, but keep working on getting those stars for that Asgardians. And as you see Black Bolt's event come back, then start to put the gear, start to put the rest of the stuff in there. But I would definitely try to get those shards, Sif shards, Hela shards, and any other shards you need to build up those Asgardians, brother. So yeah, probably gear first for AIM, or work on your stars for the Asgardians. Next question. Any idea how the rest of the Black Order is going to be unlocked? I hope they're not both blitzes. So we know Proxima is an event. We know Ebony Maw's a legendary. So the other ones you're talking about is Corvus Glaive and Cull Obsidian. I hope to disappoint you, but I think they're going to be blitzes. Foxness doesn't seem to have a lot of creative ways to release new characters. So I think Blitz is going to be the answer, unfortunately, for both those characters. Next question. Hey, brother, greetings from the island of Palau. I was watching Casino Stream. He was mentioning getting free power cores, not from donations, free stuff. Any ideas how he was getting the free cores? So a couple ideas come to mind, and I'm not sure what he was talking about. Maybe he was doing a giveaway, but I know with loot cakes, if you or your alliance spends money on that, they do give you some rebates towards that. And then if you spend money in the Google Play Store, if you sign up for that, they give you points. Eventually, they'll give you free stuff with that as well. And there's probably a bunch of other things. I know Google Play used to do surveys and would give out free credits in the Google Play Store for that. But those are the ways off the top of my head. If you guys know any other ways to get free power cords or free currency, spending currency in the game, then yeah, let me know in the comments, brother. All right. I know you're a fan of blitzing. You've done in your videos how to build up the multipliers. We're hoping you could be specific on certain matchups. Exactly. Well, you've got a Sinister team. You always take up a matchup against. If you're talking Sinister 6, I always look for a Defenders matchup without Punisher and without Iron Fist being the two most powerful defenders. But normally I'm looking for unsynergized teams. There's some teams that can punch up that far in 8.3 against the defenders. So certain teams I will look for that. But again, that Iron Fist and Punisher need to be a little lower to have you have a good chance. But yeah, I just keep scrolling through until I find good matchups with unsynergized teams. Because like I said previously, synergized teams, some of these meta teams are going to be hard to beat even for other meta teams just because you're punching up so much in 8.3. Next question. Between Monstrosity and Researcher, which aim minion would be far better to use for the main level teams of 1.3 of Villain 7? So I don't know about being that much better, but I personally use Monstrosity. I like that extra attack, and mine's is pretty beefy, so he could one-shot a lot of tunes. Researcher is going to give you a little more survivability, so I guess the tiebreaker would be whichever one you have more red stars on. That's where I would go with and use that one. I think they both have their viability, and it just depends if you want more offense or more sustainability with your aim team. Next question. Greetings, brother, from the land down under. Greetings from Texas. All right, great content, my man. Love the positivity. Been playing for a few months and just unlocked the Big Daddy Ultron. He is a beast. Next goal in Hella is villains. Do you think I should build my 72k Sinister 6 or get up my 20k aim team? Do what you do best and smash it. So personally, I like the aim team. I like getting stars on that Sinister 6 team so I can unlock those 2 legendaries. But I think aim is going to serve you a lot better in the long run. So I would put my resources into that, unless you've already invested heavily into your Sinister 6, which it doesn't look like you have so far. So I would go with the aim team. Yeah, it's going to take you a little longer, but in the long run, it's going to serve you a lot better because they have a lot of more value, a lot more versatility in this game than I think the Sinister 6 does. Next question, ValleyFlyin, how would you feel about a training module flash event? I'm virtually out and sitting on some gold, but not enough modules to level up with anyone. I think that's kind of the bottleneck they're intending, but I would love that event. We got gold, we got AVCs, we got training materials, and it looks like we're gonna get red stars with the Wakandans coming up. Who knows when? But yeah, the one big thing that's missing, the one big bottleneck that's missing is these training modules. So I would love to see them add something in the games where we could get more training modules, because I agree the challenges don't really give enough for you to level a lot. I would like to have a big leveling party one day with when these flash events happen. Next question. Do you know if the Blitz Milestones reward will contain actual shards for Sif or Hela via the community vote? Asking because the mail said the winning character will feature new limited time reward structure featuring red stars for the character winner. So I was looking in my inbox. I didn't see that mail, but I'm assuming that it's going to be like most Blitz characters that are not on their first run. So first run meaning like the Red Skull Blitz that we just had, which was a special Blitz because it did have shards at every level. But if you look at most Blitzes, there are shards at every single level. So I'm assuming when the Hela or Sif Blitz comes around, I think Sif got the vote. So I think when the Sif Blitz comes around, that we will get actual shards. That is what I am thinking and hoping. Next question. Greetings from Austin, Texas. A lot of Austin people here. What is up from the DFW area? Thanks for all the great content. Recently pulled a 7 red star cable. Tried him on a few different teams. I don't have come to the conclusion that he really needs a rework. He actually really needs a team. So you can put him on the Marauders like I was using on before. I know some people will also put him on a hybrid hero brawlers to go with Deadpool, or like a hybrid mutant team if you don't have Phoenix yet. So try those out. But yeah, he doesn't really have a team. He has a good kit. I like his kit. He just doesn't really have anybody to make use of or synergize with right now. So maybe try that Marauders team as the 5th Marauder. See if that works for you, brother. Next question. Hello from New Jersey. Enjoy watching your videos. I watch them every single week and been trapped inside the house now. So the question is, I wanted to ask, what is the optimal order of characters to gear to for Dark Dimension 3? Excuse me. I've already have Phoenix at T14, but no one else. Additionally, I have never been higher than 50 in Arena. So what are the best defensive and offensive teams right now? And I have the Black Order. So Phoenix, I think, is very, very good for that game mode. Black Bolt, Yo-Yo are a good combo if you have those two characters unlocked. Hela would be a very good character to take in there as well. And then after that, whoever you have. I mean, Minerva will work pretty good once you, if you're able to funnel energy to her. So it might take a little while to get her ultimate set up, but that will do some pretty good damage because it's a percentage-based attack. And then just start looking at the different nodes. Who are you going to need at that global node? Because that is what's coming up after those first few nodes that you have any character that you could take in. So yeah, it's really going to be RNG dependent because a lot of it based on which superior uniques you see in the store and which mini uniques you're going to see in the store. So it's somewhat out of your control, but I would try to focus on Hela and then Black Bolt, Yo-Yo if you have those characters. Next question, ValleyFlyin. What are the best Hydra minions to use with Red Skull in war defense? Everybody except for Grenadier. Take Grenadier out. That's probably the worst non-synergized one, unless you have a weird case of a 6 or 7 red star character that's highly above the other ones. Grenadier, take them out. Next questions. Greetings from Louisville, Kentucky, brother. Hope you and your family are doing well and have plenty of toilet paper. I hope you have plenty of toilet paper too, brother. I don't get what the big hoarding of toilet paper is all about. Need your advice. Just got some T4s and I want to choose them wisely. Black Bolt alt, Hela alt or special, or Phoenix basic. Out of those, I've done 2 of those. Black Bolt alt works very, very well, and the Hela alt works very well. I'd recommend doing those 1, 2 if those are your choices. Either one, and I guess it will depend on which character you're using more. If you're using Black Bolt more, do his first, then do the Hela alt second. If you're using Hela and Asgardians more, then do the Hela and then do Black Bolt. Next question. What is up, Valley? Is Yo-Yo good in Ultimate 7 without Black Bolt? If so, what team would you build her in? She loses a lot of value without Black Bolt. She still has that passive, putting offense down on the enemies, giving you more survivability. But one of the main reasons I like her is because of her basic. It's going to call Black Bolt in, and Black Bolt can clear 2 positive effects with his T4 in there. So she's going to lose a lot of value. I would probably use Invisible Woman instead of her if I did not have Black Bolt, brother. Next question. Hope all is well with you, brother. Same with you. I'm very close to starting Dark Dimension 3. Want to ask, what character should I gear to T14 for my 5th? I have Phoenix, Ultron, Invisible Woman, and Hela already at tier 14. Who would you recommend for the 5th? Gosh, it's kind of out of your control, unfortunately, because a lot of it's going to be RNG dependent, again, with those superior and those mini uniques. If you have a choice, Black Bolt is very good. Yo-Yo is very good. Scientist Supreme is going to give you double duty in Ultimate 7. And Minerva. Minerva might be a good pick as well, just because her ultimate is based on percent. But Phoenix and Hela, that's the power couple right there, brother. So that might be good. And that's who I'd recommend. Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, and Minerva. If you have those uniques, in the long run, it's probably better to focus on a character. So I would focus on a character that you're going to use in other game modes, kind of like Ultron. Not the best in Dark Dimension 3, but he's going to give you a lot of value outside of that mode. How good is Strife? Is he worth building up? I think on paper, he looks very good for that Marauders team. Personally, I see him dying a lot and doesn't really get to use that kit. Maybe it's because I have low gold stars on him. So maybe once I get him to 6 gold stars or 7 gold stars, he'll have a lot more value. But yeah, he's just so squishy as the tank of that group. So seems like a very good support character, but not a very good tank. So he's okay. But yeah, if he's your primary tank, you're gonna need some beefiness for that Strife. I just don't see him beefy enough to be a good protector. Next question. What is up, Valley, my brother? Me and my boys love the content, so keep up the awesome work. My alliance is 100% Ultimate 6 pretty easy. Do you think the raid difficulty will let us do a weaker version of Ultimate 7? Or will you have to reach 30% before you can change difficulty? Not sure how that is going to work. I was expecting that in this update, but as we know, it did not. It is not here right now. So I think you should try. You guys should try it. Do an experiment. See how far you guys get on Ultimate 7. I think they shifted around the reward so that if you get to 30%, you're still getting better rewards than the Ultimate 6. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure they did that though. You guys could go look it up and see if it's better rewards, but I would do a test, see how far you guys get. Can I get Camden and Noah? Let's go smash it. Sure. Camden, Noah, let's go smash it. Next question. What is up, Valley? Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, brother. So I took your advice from last week and suggested power level from our aim team on the villains campaign. Tried 140k and 150k with no luck at all. Do you think the issue could be that I'm not using Assaulter with the team? And if so, who should I be running? I'm running Scientist Supreme, Researcher, Monstrosity, Graviton, and Security. So I'm using Assaulter instead of Researcher. And most of the teams that I've seen have success was in that 180 range and up. So I've heard of people doing it with like a lot lower teams, which is why I said try it to see how you do. I haven't seen screenshots though, so maybe they haven't been doing it. Or if I have seen screenshots, I don't remember it. So keep building them up. 180, I think, is that sweet spot where you could get through it pretty easily. But again, it's going to depend on your red stars. If you use Assaulter or Researcher, both of them have value. One is going to be more offensive based, one's going to be more defensive based. So it is probably based on your roster, but keep building them. I think once you get to around 160, 170, you'll start to see a little more success with it. But yeah, I don't know. If anybody's passed it with a very, very low aim team, let me know in the comments and what team you guys used. Next question. What is up, Valley? Hope your family is staying safe. So last night, I was able to get Phoenix to tier 14 because of the event. Congratulations on that. I'm going to get Irva to T14 tonight. What are the other 3 characters to rep? Going to get to gear 13s or gear 14 so I could get into Dark Dimension 3. Looking at Hella because I heard Greg is the MVP. I agree, Greg is the MVP. My 2 other I'm looking at are Colossus and probably Symbiote Spider-Man. So I've seen some people using Colossus. I haven't taken up the gear 13, so I don't have first experience on that. But some of the first people that ran that Dark Dimension 3 used Colossus, and obviously they did pretty well in it. Symbiote Spider-Man, very, very good character, and I think he is probably going to be one of the MVPs once you get to that city section. Unfortunately for myself, I'm not taking him there right now because I don't have the gold stars on him. So both of those are good choices and will get you far in the long run. Both of them are good, but like I said, if you have Black Bolt Yo-Yo, that's a good combo as well. And then, like I said, Minerva because of her percent-based attack. Woo, and that is it for now, guys. A lot of questions this week. I want to thank everybody that left a question. Hopefully your question got answered. If it did not, make sure you leave it again in the Discord server. The link to Discord is down below. If you join the Discord server, there is a channel for the mailbag questions. So leave your questions there for next week, and I hopefully will get to them. Hopefully leave them shorter though, so I could get to a bunch because I want to answer as many as possible. And again, thank you if you left a question. If you enjoyed this video, I do these every single week, and at least 4 Marble Strike Force videos per week on this channel. So subscribe if you have not done that already. Smash on the like button, join the notification squad, ring the bell. Check out some of the links down below that support the channel. Valley merch, there's new merch in there in the merch store, guys, so check that out as well if you're interested in stocking up on that stuff. There's sales going on all the time. I think there's a sale coming up in the mid part of the month, so that would be the best time to do that. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Check out some of the other games I'm playing. The links are in the description, and I'll see you then. Check me out on social media as well, guys. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go, though. ValleyFlyin is out.